Yes, everybody! Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. It's only a few hours until we kick off against the Arse at London Stadium. London Derby. Has the turnaround happened? Is this now Loppy Ball? We'll find out in a few short hours' time. Join Anton with the watch along and me afterwards with him on our debrief, review, highlight, instant reaction thing we do afterwards. Hopefully talking about a victory or at least a good point or at least a good performance. I think, that's what we need, another good performance to back this up. If we lose and we still perform well, I think people would be okay with that. Obviously, we always want to win, we always want to get points, but we know it's a tough place. It's a tough play plus team we have to play against. I did my match day morning, and we spoke about obviously people's opinions, goal, the scores and things like that. So go back and check that out and comment on that. But this is the starting 11 show. For anyone who's new here, what we try and do is try and put together the starting 11. Now it's going to be. I'm going a bit blind, to be honest, because coming out of the press conference on Thursday, Julien did say there's 2 or 3 players you're not too sure about. One of them, I imagine, would be Jean-Claire. Now, according to the West Ham Twitter page, it was a picture of him training. He goes, all ready for the match. So is that him, or is that just in general that the team are ready for the match? I don't know. I do not know. We assume the other one will be Nicholas Füllkrug. Now, there was reports from Claret and Hugh that he could make the bench today, although probably more likely the Leicester City game. And obviously, we welcome back Mohamed Kudus. Obviously, we welcome back today Edson Alvarez serving his 2-match suspension. Obviously, this is the last game in the 5-game suspension. It seems a long time since Mohamed Kudus last played with us as well. So it'd be interesting next week on Tuesday how that works. How Kudus back in the side. Does he go straight in? Does he need to work his way back in? Same with Edson Alvarez. Newcastle was a really, really good performance. It was a deserved 2-0 win, which is something we don't say very often. We deserve to win that game, in my opinion. Let's see what we can do, shall we? So let's have a think. Let's start with the goalkeeper situation. Now, it is still a situation. Will Areola get back in? I don't think he will. I think Fabianski keeps the shirt. I think he played really well against Newcastle. I thought we saw a new side of Fabianski. We saw a ball-playing goalkeeper for the first time probably in his 39 years, dropping the shoulder, on Isaac. And, fair play to him. They did, he said on Friday, he can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I think he can when it comes to Fabianski. I think the majority of the side is going to be the same, I think, if not the whole side, in my humblest opinion. So for me, that's Emerson. So I'm doing this live as Emerson left back. Aaron, maybe we'll get another goal tonight. Who knows? Where is he? There he is. So I'm trying to find number 9, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Trying to do it straight as well. Yeah. I can't see any and then obviously Max sits next to Emerson. Obviously he's played every second of Julien's time at West Ham, which is pretty impressive. Now, I'm assuming that Jean-Claire will be okay. Obviously, he may decide to potentially put in Mavropanos, obviously former Arsenal player as well. But I think if he's fit, I think Todibo starts. And that's not a bad. That's obviously our first choice. Let me just sort that out because obviously my OCD will kick in. That's better. That ain't a bad. It's going to move him down. Otherwise, we run out of players. Run out of space. That's our first team. That's our first team sort of back four. Maybe not with Fabianski potentially. Maybe with Areola, but I think he's done enough to keep the shirt. I don't know what it actually means. Mrs. Budden said text me, so I have no idea what it means. But yeah, I think that's okay. Now into midfield. Now, obviously, we've got Edson back. Rodriguez was on the bench. I think because of the revelation that Rodriguez is probably going to go back in January, I think he's going to be basically confined now to sort of backup. And we may well need him. We've got a lot of games coming up in December. And so, he'll get game time, but very much as a backup, which I think is fair enough. I think we found this sort of format where it sort of just works without really playing a CDM, but with Alvarez back in and also playing Arsenal, does Lopetegui decide to maybe not necessarily? I mean, even if he goes back to a double pivot, I'm not bothered as long as the level of performance is where we want it to be. And actually, I quite like if he changes and tinkers with the players, tinkers with the formation to suit, in terms of the side we're playing. It's not one size fits all. That was always an issue with David Moyes was, everyone's like, oh, he doesn't change. We could be playing Everton or we could be playing Ipswich or we could be playing Man City, but we'd play the same way. The way we played against Everton was very different from the way we played against Newcastle. And, he might make substitutions, but I think actually he's, there's an evil genius about it potentially. A professor. He's almost like he's trying to find the best formation for the best side we're playing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Edson come in, maybe for Carlos Soler, and play Edson, Edson Paqueta and Souček. We saw, Paqueta his best performance I think in about 18 months. Realistic. I thought he was first. I thought he was phenomenal, and he wasn't playing as like a top man. He was playing as like a midfielder, really. And actually, Soler was playing the one pushing up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Whether he goes with a double pivot, whether he goes with. I personally don't think he'll go. I don't think he'll go with Soler and Paqueta together against Arsenal. If he was playing, no disrespect, if he was playing Everton this week, he would play the three. But because it's Arsenal, he does, I wouldn't be surprised if, particularly to start with, we're a bit more like we were. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. So for me, you've got where is he? Where's Souček? So I think it's going to be, personally, I think it's going to be Souček. I haven't got Edson Alvarez. I've just realised I haven't got Edson Alvarez. Have I got a picture of him somewhere? Let me find him. I thought I did it. I must have missed it because I did it last week, innit? Can I put him in? There we go. I'll get his shirt. I'll sort his shirt out. But I think Edson comes in. I think he does. And then I think Paqueta sort of plays like that. Maybe you might see something more like this, where like Paqueta's, because I think that's his best position really. And Souček, he might drop Souček and bring on Carlos Soler, but I don't think he will. I think Souček is his sort of go-to, Mr. Reliable, know what you're going to get. I mean, it might be a case that actually Edson's not back in the side. I mean, he has had form, of being dropped before. So there's a number of different options there, which is exciting. As I was saying yesterday in the live show, we've got a squad now. I mean, Andy Irving came on, and he's a baller. He can play. We've got Luis Guilherme. We've got Mavropanos if we need it. You've got, I think we've got, still Guillermo Rodriguez on the bench as well. But I think for me, I think it's going to be the same sort of attacking prowess as on Monday. With Antonio, hopefully having another good game. And as I said, Antonio, if he plays well, the team play well, and he played very well, I thought, against Newcastle. I'm the first one to give him his knockers, or misses, but I thought he had a good game, and hopefully have another good game. And that's the side I think I'd like to see play. I don't think that's the side we're going to end up with. I think, or maybe, I don't know. Is he going to go? But he does tend to be braver, Lopetegui, when we're playing the home matches than we're playing away matches. If we were playing Arsenal away, I think we'd have Edson. I think we'd play double pivot, and I think Soler would be on the bench. but maybe at home, just maybe. Just maybe. And I think us as fans, we would play that side. But we're not the ones who job depends on getting points. And I think I wouldn't, although I'd be surprised if we had that side, the exact same side again. I'd also be surprised if Soler's dropped and he brings on Alvarez and plays a double pivot. Or maybe just plays Alvarez in front of the back four, allowing Souček and Paqueta to do what they do. But as I said, the fact is we don't necessarily know. And if I don't know, how's Mikel Arteta going to not know? Or going to know, rather. And that's what excites me about the ability to move players around, to move squad players around. You know, we're coming into the busy Christmas period. There's a lot of games happening. And obviously we play today, then we play Tuesday, then we've got a week and a bit, because then we don't play till the Monday, or just under a week. And then they start ramping up. So the likes of Guedes are going to be needed. Kudus obviously back into the squad for the Leicester game. Does he start straight away? You know, Fulkrug, by all accounts, for the Leicester game, more likely than the Arsenal game, but he could start being on the bench. That gives us another battering ram option. Maybe you start with Fulkrug and then bring on Antonio with his pace with 25, 30 minutes to spare, particularly against a tired centre-back partnership. Maybe we're getting a little bit more optimistic. Maybe. But say it quietly, because we'll get cancelled. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think your starting 11 is, and don't forget to check out the if you're not going to the game, of course, the match day live watch along with Anton a little bit later on, and then me and Anton afterwards having a good old natter, hopefully after a good performance. But until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody Irons.